All right, everyone. Starting off this week with a confession. None of these videos have been under 3 minutes long. And listen, I wouldn't even have admitted that if I knew how to edit. I would have gone back, done a bunch of voiceovers, pretended like they were all saying 4 minutes at a minimum. But because you all watched last week's episode, you know that editing is not exactly my strong suit. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, where are we going? Well, I'm telling you one thing, we're not going to any time agreements anymore, except that I will always be here on Wednesday. Okay, this week we are talking about recruitment. And now during the HR Trends video, I discussed the fact that a lot of businesses are now hiring based on values and beliefs versus skills and experience. Discussed a little bit around that in the Netflix culture episode. And this week, I'm going to talk about a video that goes into a little bit more around why. Now, before I talk about the video, I have another confession to make. I don't really get why everybody loves TED Talks. Don't get me wrong, I love Mark Wahlberg, and The Bear is hilarious. The second one was probably a bit underrated. Shout out Tom Brady. But seriously, as a source of intellectual information, probably not my first starting point. But who am I to talk, I guess? I've been using this magic 8-ball here for all of my HR predictions. Is there an 8-ball there? I don't know. We'll find out later. I don't know how my CGI is working. Okay, the video. Regina Hartley discusses why the perfect hire might not have the best resume. And she goes on to give an example of a requisition that's open. 2 candidates apply. Candidate A, candidate B. Both equally qualified. Candidate A, however, has had his whole life handed to him. Perfect university, top of the top, best grades, glowing recommendations, stable internship, job, whatever it might be. The silver spoon. Candidate B, maybe they went to regular college, regular university, had average grades, did a bunch of job hopping, and maybe even worked some odd jobs. I think Regina even referenced a singing waitress job. Sounds like a good job if you're asking me. But anyway, how do you choose? Candidate A, she defends and says, listen, it takes a lot to build up a profile like that, but that's the type of person that maybe has had everything handed to them. Maybe they haven't come up against quite a lot of challenges like the scrapper has. She goes on to say that if you're looking at the scrapper, you might say, oh, look at, they've jumped around to all these different jobs, didn't have top marks. How reliable are they? How long are they going to stay at this business? Can we trust that person? But maybe that candidate's profile shows that they've had to overcome a lot of obstacles and challenges in their lives. And they now have a different outlook on how to work. She goes to give an example of a candidate A profile that they hired at one of her jobs. Now, she wanted to bring this person to the factory to see what it's like working from the business from the bottom up. Now, that candidate said that they basically felt that work was beneath them and that they were overqualified to do that. And sure enough, candidate A was out the door not that long after. Regina says that candidate B, the scrapper, at least deserves an interview. Regina has met with a number of high-end business leaders, and she's read about a lot as well. And some of the interesting things that she's found is that a lot of them have had to overcome obstacles and challenges and hardships in their life. A lot of them actually have even had learning disabilities. Here's an example for you. Would you hire this person? They were left for adoption. They didn't finish college. They worked lots of different jobs all over the place. They decided that they were going to go to India for a year. And like my man Emerald Lagasse says, why don't we kick it up a little notch with some dyslexia? Bam. Would you hire him? No? You sure? Yeah, you know what, in fairness, I wouldn't hire him either. That guy's been crashing my iPhone 6 battery because I won't buy the iPhone 9000, even from the grave. R.I.P. Steve Jobs, great man. We'd all hire him. Come on, let's be real. So listen, right, the scrapper might turn out to be somebody that you would have never expected. They at least deserve an interview. So now, as always, I'm turning it over to you guys, the loyal viewers, and especially all the recruiters in my network. How do you do it? How do you bring diversity into the workplace? How do you choose between candidate A and candidate B? I'd love to hear what some of your stories have been. And how about all you scrappers out there? What has the interview process has been like? What's the job hunt? Give me your stories. Give me your feedback. Everybody wants to know. You're looking at a scrapper right here. So until next week, people, listen, we're going to keep the recruitment train rolling about employee referral programs. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss any of these, obviously. So tune in next week for a video that I don't know how long it's going to be, but you know it'll be on Wednesday. Until then, people, be good.